Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
About to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All of the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House.
It's a 4-year renovation project. Estimated cost, $376 million.
Unbelievable, honestly. That Donald Trump is such a... You know what this is? This is a big... he's just a big payoff to his cronies. And, I'm sorry, that was what? Oh, that was 2010 when Barack Obama was the president. Okay, that was Barack Obama when he was the president. That's what then happened. Oh, my God, I had no idea. Yeah, that happened when Barack Obama was the president. But apparently a lot of people who have Trump ballroom, derangement syndrome, because Donald Trump, one of the premier real estate developers in the world, who's built countless beautiful palaces, buildings, and of course golf courses around the world, known for revitalizing the New York skyline. He is going to gather money from individual investors and build a beautiful ballroom, which people have been begging for decades. Jackie O was going to have a ballroom, not for John Kennedy, by the way. No. This is for everybody to use. It's, it's where you dance and stuff. But anyway, she had planned on it, man. She was going to do it. She said that's what the White House needed. And then, of course, a communist killed her husband. So that stopped it, you see. But the Democrat Party needs something to bitch and whine about. I'll just be honest. They need something to complain about. It's got to be something. Everything's got to be a crisis. Everything's got to be awful. This is what they do. Hakeem Jeffries yesterday.
More likely, this is part of what Donald Trump has been doing since day one of his presidency, running the largest pay-to-play scheme in the history of the country, and probably soliciting donations from people who've got business before the United States government. And all of this is going to have to be investigated. It will. All of this will have to be uncovered. It will. And
he lost $1 billion in value when he was the president the last time.
These people are going to be held accountable no matter how long it takes. That's going to be the reality of the situation, and that's our warning to all of these people.
Oh, my God. I'm so done. I'm so bloody done with this nonsense. I mean, you got everything is an outrage. Everything that Donald Trump does is an outrage. It's been this way for 10 years.
There is no doubt that this president's conduct has already exceeded any prior standard for impeachment.
It's impeachable misconduct. This isn't leadership. It's tyranny. Donald J. Trump must be impeached.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Donald J. Trump, everything. It's been this way for a decade, and honestly, I'm just so bloody stinking tired of it. They are just being contrarian to be contrarian. Everything they do, everything they've ever touched is crap, by the way. Everything the Democrat Party has ever touched has turned to crap. They've never done a damn thing for the country. We've got a guy in the office right now who is making history happen. He has brought in $17 trillion in investment, closed the southern border after the Democrats said it couldn't be closed. There was no way you had to spend a lot of money. You had to do it, all that. You had to, come up with a new bill, and then what did Donald Trump did? He closed it. Just boom, hey, shut the damn border down. How about that? Okay, it's like go over and close the window for God's sake, instead of sitting around and whining about how it being cold in here. How about get up and close the window? So Democrats would be like, oh no, we got to pass legislation. We're going to spend billions of dollars to close the window. Donald Trump just did it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's got now 7 peace deals, including peace in the Middle East. You had 7 Arab states come together. You got peace between India and Pakistan. Could have been a nuclear war, and yet the Democrats are complaining that Donald Trump is going to build a beautiful ballroom that has been desired by countless presidents. What did Barack Obama do? Well, we don't know exactly what the hell he did with a couple $100 million when he was the president, because nobody bothered to ask what Donald Trump was, or what Barack Obama was doing at the White White House during his rehabilitation of the White House. Here's Rob Finnerty talking about it last night.
There was a giant hole at the White House right in front of the West Wing during the Obama administration.
Yeah, what
but
was that?
nobody seemed to care,
No.
certainly not CNN. Barack Obama spent unknown millions to build a bunker under the West Wing, or at least that.
And he also put in a basketball court because, there's so many world leaders want to come to the White House and play basketball.
That's what we think it was, because the public, to this day, has never been told what it was. CNN didn't care about any of that because it was not Donald Trump.
I'll bet it was for growing some serious hydroponic weed.
If Joe Biden were doing this exact same thing and paying for it himself, Joe Biden would be celebrating.
Trust me, everywhere you go in D.C., you smell weed, for God's sake. You can be in a traffic intersection, and all of a sudden you'll just smell weed. You know where it's coming from. It's just there.
Daily for being the first president to privately fund a major project
Yeah, I know.
at the White House.
I know.
But because
it's going to be around after all these damn Democrats are long gone. People will be dancing. 100 years from now, you'll be flying in flying cars to go to big events at the White House, and they'll go, dang, this ballroom that Donald Trump, the greatest president in history, built sure is neat.
This is a Donald Trump project. Donald Trump, by the way.
That was back when the Democrat Party still existed, before they spiraled into hell.
Before he got into politics, was a builder. Because it's a Trump project, and because everything Trump does has to be controversial, because Trump sells.
Trump did it.
Two things are now happening. One, CNN is a national punchline. It's not becoming a national punchline. They are a national punchline. The second, Donald Trump is having the most successful start to a second term, maybe in American history. And he and Melania are going to be toasting opening night in that ballroom when it does open up.
And I'm going to be there, too. I might be serving hors d'oeuvres, but I'm going to be there. I am going to be there. Here is Donald Trump going after another reporter. They never went after Barack Obama when he did $200 million in building a shroom room in the ground or so. I don't even know what the hell it was on a basketball court. Richard Nixon put it in a damn bowling alley, and then I don't know. It's been an ongoing rehab project for 100 years, for God's sake. You know why? Because it's an old building. I hate to tell you this. Sometimes you got to fix old buildings. My God, you Democrats, you ever watch HGTV? I had to watch it for 20 years every night. You should know this by now. Here is Donald Trump.
I just want a quick follow-up on that question. Your response to people who say that you haven't been transparent enough about this.
I haven't been transparent?
Here we go.
That's some of your
Really?
feel it's
I've shown this to everybody that would listen. Third-rate reporters didn't see it because they didn't look. You're a third-rate reporter, always have been. So third-rate reporters.
Wow, he's demolishing part of the White House and this reporter in the same day.
Look, but anybody that asks, these pictures have been in newspapers. They've been all over the place, and we're very proud of it. It's gotten great reviews. It's gotten really great reviews. So I think we've been more transparent than anybody.
Yeah, if say for instance the government wanted to do a new ballroom at the White House, they'd put out bids, and Donald Trump's, maybe one of his sundry companies, would be in the running because they do great work. And now we've got a guy who actually has done this for a living with a track record that is impeccable. And they get things done on time, unlike Barack Obama's library, and on budget, unlike Barack Obama's, library, and unlike high-speed rail in California. And now the Democrats are actually whining because the perfect person to actually do this is actually doing it, and it's not costing the taxpayers anything. Here is the awful Democrat, Chris Murphy, whining about it.
But I wonder if you had the same. I've just had encountered for myself and other people. There was really something visceral about those images.
It was just visceral. They were just tearing down that building with a backhoe.
That landed. I wonder if you or other colleagues or other people you're talking to
I'm not talking about Fonnie Willis either.
Had that same reaction.
No, listen, there's a lot of history that has taken place in the East Wing, and it was just destroyed without any conversation in the American public, without any consent of Congress. It was absolutely illegal.
No, it was absolutely legal.
Yeah, that visual is powerful because I
know, because we love the destruction part. That's the best part when you watch those HGTV shows. That's the part you wait for. You don't care about the middle of the show. You don't even care about them bringing in this and arguing about paint colors and all that. You like the demo and you like the reveal. That's it.
We're essentially watching the destruction of the rule of law happen.
Oh, yeah, it's the destruction of the world of law. Here's Josh Hawley giving another reporter a little what for.
What about just uprooting this is an iconic building.
Well, I will just say
it's an iconic building.
I made this point yesterday that I hear all of a sudden from my liberal friends that they're very concerned about our history. Yeah. Really, these are the same people who tore down every statue they could get their hands on in the last 4 years. Christopher Columbus. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt. Sure. They didn't have any concern for history then. Now all of a sudden, like, the facade of the East Wing is iconic. Oh, give me a break.
Yeah. They also tried to burn down St. John's Historic Church right near the White House. A bunch of radical leftist Antifa members, even though James Carville says they don't exist, but also, a good share of his brain doesn't exist anymore either. So you know how we'll wrap up this segment? We will take a classic a song from the 60s, a kind of a protest song from the 1960s, and we're going to hijack it, and we're going to do it to support Donald Trump, just to piss off the boomer crybabies out there complaining about the White House.
We took the jackhammer
to
the White House ballroom.
We're
gonna make it bigger than it's ever been. Increase the square footage will be 3 times larger. It will seat 600 people from all over this land.
Better than a bowling alley or a basketball court.
Put my own money in White House improvements. Unlike the Clintons, who robbed the place blind.
Yeah, the power wash it.
They took the pair of sofas. They even stole some tables.
Oh, yeah, it's the silverware.
I will upgrade the White House.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
It's part of my plan. Rose Garden I made nicer.
Yeah, he did so.
People say they love it.
It's pretty.
Wait till they see this ballroom. Oh my, it's gonna be grand.
And you're not going to be invited to the grand opening. Thank you very much. Yeah, honestly, of all the things you could whine about, this is it. You're just noise. You're just noise at this point. Coming up, we've got some new news on the shutdown. Oh, did you hear about this big old 31 arrested in NBA gambling cabal, I guess, a massive, and Pete Rose is looking down from heaven going, what the hell, really? And I didn't get into, until after I died, I didn't get into the Hall of Fame, for God's sake. So we got that. We got your phone calls at 800-922-6680 on this Thursday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
Rent-free in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sonny, and Joy. Rent-free I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
with talent on loan from God. And have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rush Ball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine.
Surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this, the golden EIB microphone.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
There's a relative, nobody's actually seen anything quite like it. I think it'll be one of the great ballrooms anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool ballroom.
It's about $300 million. It's set to do many, many things, including meetings of foreign leaders, including the honoring of foreign leaders. You can see this. This is a plan. If it's got tables so that you honor a foreign leader, we have a proper space. Right now, we have a space that with tables holds about 79 people.
There you go. Yeah, that's not good enough. So you got all that land over there, and it's something that they've wanted forever at the White House. But because Donald Trump is doing it, and he's an incredibly successful real estate developer and builder, which makes perfect sense, the Democrats are whining about it because they are honestly. My father had an expression was, "You would be if you was hung with a new rope." That's what he'd say about that, and that was an old-timey expression from like World War II, and the West, and the Old West, by the way. But that's what the Democrats are doing right now, and honestly, it's just noise. It's just noise after a while. Here's Whoopi Goldberg lying about the funding of the thing.
So this will also be decided. This is the part that really tickles me. It's going to be...
That is not a visual I want to even think about here.
...decided by some of the same Justice Department lawyers who worked with him on these past cases. So Americans, the question is, are you on board with all of this? This is like a cash grab. Yeah. And your taxes are probably going to be paying for it.
No, you're absolutely wrong. It's completely covered by corporate sponsorship, and Donald Trump's going to throw some money in too, so... Wow, honestly, dear God, just listening to her voice, my God, she used to be a funny person. For you guys, maybe Gen Zers don't know, Whoopi Goldberg was a comedian and an actress or an actor somewhere in there. Not sure anymore, not even sure. But she used to be kind of funny. She had a movie called Sister Act, where she pretended to be a nun to evade the law. I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I loved her in Ghost, though. She was damn good in Ghost, man. She was really, really good in Ghost. Absolutely. Absolutely amazing. Here's Donald Trump talking about the best ballroom ever. And it will be, by the way.
Certain areas are being left.
Yeah.
We determined that after really a tremendous amount of study with some of the best architects in the world.
Yeah, because that's what he does, you see.
We determined that really knocking it down, trying to use a little section. The East Wing was not much. There was not much left from the original. It was over the course of 100 years, it was changed. The columns were removed.
Plus, when Joe Biden was there and Hunter Biden was there, there's a lot of damage caused by moisture.
And it was a much different building. Then a story was added on in 1948, 1949.
Yeah.
There was a story added on, which was not particularly nice.
No.
And the building was very, very much changed from what it was originally.
Yeah, that's true.
It was never thought of as being much. It was a very small building.
Wonder if they'll find some bags of cocaine while they're destroying that area of the building.
Rather than allowing that to hurt.
I got another bag of cocaine over here.
A very expensive, beautiful building that, frankly, they've been after for years. You have that. I brought these along so people could see, but it's, there's.
Yeah, when the ballroom is open, I'm not sure when the ballroom is going to be open. It'll be under time and under budget, though. Certainly, if it were a Democrat thing, it would be done in about 40 years. Way over budget, that sort of stuff. Probably a DEI hires had put it together, so it'd be crumbling on its foundation. GOP is floating a funding extension to December of 2026 amid the shutdown drama. Republicans at Capitol Hill discussing extending current government funding levels until December 2026 as debate heats up about the length of a potential stopgap funding bill to reopen the government. I hate reading this stuff sometimes, don't you? It's just like blah, 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 blah. So they're basically saying, you know what, screw Democrats. We'll go past the midterm election with our own little funding bill and won't even have to worry about talking about it until next December. How about that? You want to FAFO? Let's FAFO. All right, here is, this is Catherine Clark. She's the minority whip, which is probably somehow racist. Not even, if she was a Republican, it would be racist. But anyway, here is minority whip Catherine Clark saying that this whole shutdown is leverage for the Democrat Party, which we know it is. It's an attempt to extort more money out of us, another $1.5 trillion out of us, and she gave it up.
No responsibility on the Democrats, or at least you don't think that the public will perceive that the Democrats are responsible.
Shutdowns are terrible, and of course there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously, but it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Yeah, it is one of the few things, the leverage times that we have to make people suffer so we can use it for our political gain. And that's exactly what she said. She actually did an evil laugh right after that, and she rubbed her hands together. It was really weird. You should have seen it. Here she is walking back her comments on CNN, of course, because CNN had to give her the opportunity to walk back the comments.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just posted a clip of an interview that you did on Fox last week. You were answering a question from Fox's Chad Pergram about blame for the shutdown. I want to
look at the post. Which is all on you,
here.
By the way, yeah. It's all on you. If she is.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible, and of course there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously,
yes, we do. Yes.
But it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Yes. Here she goes.
Leavitt is.
They cut the evil laugh out again.
Looking especially at that last bit you said there, saying that Democrats, quote, are now admitting that they are intentionally causing American families to suffer with their reckless government shutdown. What's your response to that?
Well, that is
ridiculous.
Out of her playbook of half-truths, taking things out of context, and not being straight with the American people.
No, that's the Democrat playbook.
And she knows what I said.
That's the Democrat playbook. Everybody knows that's the Democrat playbook. My God. And this is what they're doing. They always do this. They do it every single time. They've done it with shutdowns. When Barack Obama was the president, there was a shutdown, and they blamed it on the Republicans. You can't go to the Vietnam Memorial. It's the Republicans' fault. Too bad, veterans. Oh, you World War II veterans are going to have to die without seeing getting an honor flight in. It's what they've been doing for decades. Nobody is fooled by this at all. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code NEWSMAX, you can get their best-selling Dream powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code NEWSMAX at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word NEWSMAX for up to 40% off.
Mom Donnie, a socialist. Mom Donnie, a communist. He's a fan of Hamas. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mom Donnie is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mom Donnie, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin. New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win.
There's always room for Zeppelin. Come on. You can tell I have a bachelor pad now because I ordered a Led Zeppelin print for one of the walls. It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun to that, and it's not like your typical bachelor pad, right? Because, I've been 20 years of HGTV watching experience, and, I've also grown up, so I don't have, like, milk cartons holding up plywood to put speakers on it, like in the old days, so I got some cool stuff going on in the apartment. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to do your own place. I'm the best renter ever, right? Because I've got my tools with me, including my all my saws and all of my stud finders and everything. Obviously, you got to be careful with the stud finder because whenever I hold it, it goes off. So there is that. But anyway, I put up like floating shelves and a hanging pot rack in the kitchen. I hang up a hanging pot rack with cordless LED lights that are motion controlled. So I just walk in the kitchen and bing, it shows up. I'm going to tell you, when I leave this apartment, I'm leaving it so much better than when I got there because it was just an apartment. So, and I'm the kind of guy who I won't even bother to call, like when the toilet is clogged. It's like, really? No. Or when the sink is what? It's no, I'll fix it. I'm like Schneider. Remember the One Day at a Time? You Gen Xers and Boomers. I'm like Schneider from One Day at a Time, but I got my own apartment. So there is that. John Fetterman did an interview yesterday on Fox, and John Fetterman is one of the, he had a complete brain reboot when he had his stroke. I'm not kidding. Something happened. I don't know if it was a near-death experience or actually if his brain just went down, came back up, and started working properly. But he's saying things that make a lot of sense. Here he is talking about the government shutdown, how many people it's hurting in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, like I just said that, I just put that in my social, like 2 million Pennsylvanians depend on SNAP to helping feed themselves and their
food stamps
family. 2 million. And now that's going to be suspended because our government is shut.
Then there's the food stamps for transgendered individuals called OSNAP.
Down. I can't ever vote for that kinds of mass food insecurity like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to be a country over party guy. I'm always going to vote to pay.
That is a Democrat talking. Used to be that most politicians talked like that.
They are military over the party. Yeah, I'm always going to vote to pay the Capitol Police here versus over the party. I'm always going to vote country over my party. And if I pay a price within my base, that's something I'm willing to do because I happen to believe it's very true. And that's what's honest where we are right now. It's
unbelievable. That's like, that used to just be how people thought. Now we've got people in Washington, D.C. who intentionally shut down the government. They can vote to do a clean CR, clean continuing resolution, until all of these things are, we have a group of people in Washington, D.C. who want to extort another $1.5 trillion out of us, and that includes health care for illegals that they value as voters and for the census above American citizens. Don't believe me? Look at how they were treated as Joe Biden flooded the country with unvetted illegals to the tune of about 20 million people, no vetting for crime or disease or anything, while we suffered, our schools were closed down, and our businesses were shuttered. So, honestly, it is utterly, utterly ridiculous. Here is Caroline Leavitt shredding the Democrat Party on that.
I'm asking you if you can explain the disconnect in the message.
I most certainly can. The Democrats' proposal, their continuing resolution, let me just reiterate, the Republicans' continuing resolution was a clean continuing resolution.
That's true.
There was no partisan politics injected into it.
Nope.
There were no conservative wish lists injected to it.
Nope.
What the Republicans want, and still want to this very second, is a clean continuing resolution to fund the United States government. What did the Democrats want in their continuing resolution?
Yeah.
They inserted a provision to undo a provision in the Working Families Tax Cut, the One Big Beautiful Bill, that ended taxpayer-funded health care illegal benefits for illegal aliens.
Wow.
Democrats' proposal would require Medicaid to pay more for emergency care provided to illegal aliens than Medicaid does for American patients who are disabled, elderly, or children.
It's a giant racket. It's a giant money-making racket in places like California.
And this bill would have also allowed California to continue a gimmick that funds its Medicaid for illegals program. Those are things that we ended, the Trump administration ended, with the passage in this.
But the Democrat Party, they love those illegal aliens. There are so many reasons why they love those illegal aliens, because they know that their policies are causing people to leave states where they are in control, and they need to be able to jack up the number of representatives in those states and get the money from those states, and all of that while being able to be completely funded for their socialism. That's what it's really all about, guys. That's what it's really all about. That's what it has always been all about, and they continue to do this. They continue to do it. So we'll see what happens. It's not going to work, though. It's not going to work, not one little bit. I had a piece of audio I wanted to play from you, if I can find it here real quick, with regard to the amount of money that goes to illegals. I'll find it here. I had something that was kind of interesting that I was reminded of earlier today about how people, the Democrat Party uses illegals. But they do. They essentially replaced us. So the great replacement theory, well, it's absolutely true, by the way. Absolutely true. Oh, yeah, here he is. This is the guy who was a member of the Doge team. And he did some digging, and this is why they did all the Elon Musk is a Nazi protests, because a lot of things were discovered about how much money was used by different departments. For instance, hundreds of thousands of illegals were given Social Security numbers, given free benefits, so they could do what? So they could vote.
We found in the benefit programs that every benefit program we looked at was being accessed by these people. 1.3 million of them are on Medicaid right now, today. And by the way, it's just ramping, it's just starting. And we looked at voter rolls, and we found that thousands of them were registered to vote in a handful of states. And then we went even further with those friendly states and found that many of those people had actually voted. It was shocking to us. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah, this is why they decided to burn down Tesla dealerships. And for some reason, Elon Musk was a Nazi. And then all that all went away. It's like they turned off the switch, and he suddenly wasn't a Nazi anymore. You people are so ridiculous. By the way, I'm getting notes on the social media. This is the second day of my birthday, by the way. I have a 2-day birthday. I'm the only person in the history of the media to have a two-day birthday. Reason being, the birth certificate when I was born said October the 23rd. The birth certificate when I was adopted at age 11 says October 22nd. I just said, hell with it. I'm going to go ahead and celebrate both of them. I legally recognize the 22nd just because it's on so many documents that I have to go with that. But the 23rd, my sister called me last night. She goes, Robert. I said, yeah, because it's my mother. They called me Robert. Robert, yes. Today is not your birthday. Tomorrow is your birthday. I said, okay, all right. It is. October 23rd is really the birthday because it makes me a Scorpio. And I am a Scorpio. If you want to believe those things about, I'm so not a Libra. Libras are balanced. I'm not a Libra. So there you go. There you go. That's what it's all about. Let's move on, shall we? Other things. The Ninth Circuit hands President Trump a sweeping win over Gavin Newsom. Trump can federalize California National Guard to enforce immigration law. Oh, my God, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. So they can't do anything about it. I've got more details on this, and the left's heads are exploding about this across the country. I just explained to you why Democrats want illegals here. They don't care about you. Obviously, they're willing to shut down the government to open it and give illegals free health care. See what that does? See what that does? Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. This is not the 1930s.
Secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. These Gestapo-like tactics.
This is Gestapo-like behavior.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland, it does look like a Gestapo operation.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while. It's a psyop by the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party did the same thing to the police back in 2020. Remember that? They did the same thing to the police back in 2020, which is something that the Third Reich did. They got rid of law enforcement so the brown shirts could come in. Really, Antifa. But James Carville said Antifa doesn't exist, by the way. James Carville, oh my God, just sit on your porch and tell people to get off your lawn.
There is no such thing as Antifa. It's like attacking vapor, right? There is no Antifa.
Who caused the $2 billion in damage and the hundreds of police officers' injuries and the burning down of St. John's Church and the murder of 30 people?
Antifa. So I'm defending air. It's the same thing.
Why do they have a logo? Why do they have a flag? Why are they a worldwide movement with tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of members? You old fart.
Are attacking air. I mean, what?
You know, dust in the air. He must have break and win again.
I mean,
that's not Antifa.
No, that's not the term.
Another cloud of dust coming out of James.
There's one thing. My phone rings. You know it's me. But yeah, I'm serious. We just keep. And they loop into this, and they keep repeating it, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, even though there's, tens of thousands of people who wear the A for Antifa on their uniforms with their masks on their faces, and they've been doing it for decades. My God, man, just shut up. Just shut up. He also said the Trump administration would collapse in 30 days. I mean, he's terrible at what he does. He wrote a book midway through Obama's second term saying the Democrats would be in power for another 40 years, and Obama lost both houses of Congress in the midterms. Honestly, how could you do this for a living and be so bloody wrong? Although he's retired, I guess. Isn't he retired? Retarded? He's retired. He's retired. That's what he is. He's retired. Real quick, I want to talk. You can't say that. Yeah, I did. You know why? Because it's okay to be offensive now. Being offensive is okay again. You know why? Because we have this thing called the First Amendment. You can say things that are mildly offensive without people getting butthurt about it. It's kind of amazing. It's really amazing the things you can say now that you couldn't just a year or two ago. It's a remarkable time that we live in. And I've never been one to exist for bombast. I don't do bombast for bombast's sake. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be filtered so much. I think you have to admit I don't push it too far. Hey, you lucked out due to overwhelming demand for free silver from Birch Gold. They've extended their current promotion through Veterans Day, November the 15th. Here's the deal. You buy gold, you get free silver, which happens to be surging in price. I've got this gorgeous coin that they're giving you when you, for every $5,000 purchase from Birch Gold by Veterans Day, they will send you this free 1-ounce patriotic round that features the Gadsden and American flags. I'm showing you guys who are streaming right now. There you go. I'm looking at SOS because you kind of, yeah. Anyway, you can get this coin now. The gold is up 60% this year. Is your IRA or 401k up 60%? No. Is your savings? Dear God, no. So right now, Birch Gold can help you own it by converting it into an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. You can sit on this for a while and then cash it in eventually. That's what you're going to do anyway, right? Right? Plus, you'll get this free silver round honoring the veterans. And if you're a current or former military, Birch Gold is waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. Whoa. All right, so text my name, Rob, to 989898. That's Rob to 989898 for a free info kit. Claim your eligibility for free silver with purchase before November the 11th. Text my name again, Rob, to 989898. I want to put it back into its velvet pouch and back into my pocket, my silver round. Yeah, I mentioned the Ninth Circuit handed President Trump a sweeping win over Gavin Newsom. U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit denied Newsom versus Trump, effectively upholding an earlier panel decision that sided with Trump and affirmed his authority to federalize California National Guard to support federal immigration enforcement. This is why they're going after ICE so much. They started teeing this up even before ICE was dispersed. Some of those sound bites that I played you just a minute ago were like from the beginning of this year before anything needed done, because they see what he's going to do. He's going to get rid of all the illegals they brought in during Joe Biden's presidency surreptitiously so they could do what I've told you. That is to give them lots of bennies, let them stay, give them, whatever largesse they need, get them on the voter rolls, get them on the census, and then use them. This is what they've been doing forever. They did the same thing, back in the Civil War when they actually owned slaves and they counted the slaves when they were voting. That's what they did. And then the Republicans said, no, we're going to do 2/3. And everybody said, that's racist. No, it wasn't. It was actually to take power away from the slave holders. If you did a little history, you'd know that. California refused to cooperate with federal agents. Trump invoked this 1240-06, whatever the hell, federalizing and deploying 4,000 members of California National Guard to Los Angeles to secure ICE facilities and restore order. And he did. He prevented California and LA from doing what they do every few years, and that is just burning everything down. Sometimes it happens because of arson by a Democrat. Sometimes it happens by a whole bunch of Democrats rioting. But they do it all the time, and Donald Trump actually prevented it from happening. So I got a little bit more on this coming up. Let's go ahead and take a break. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. Let's see who's online here. A lot of people watching on the Twitter. On the Facebook, we got Jellyfish Hunter and Pranay Uprachat as always. Hello. Rebecca Smith, nice to see you there. Vicky Stevens, what's going on today as I celebrate the second birthday? Somebody said that only kings have birthdays. I'll be a king. What the hell? It's good to be the king. Look at all the people watching on the YouTube, including Justin Spiels. Justin Spiels, will turn that off my headphones. Mickey Hastings, happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah, I do consider this to be my real birthday. I got some nice birthday greetings yesterday. It was nice, but it really wasn't my birthday. So, I kind of like it. I like having two birthdays. It's kind of cool. Makes me kind of unique, don't it? I'm not thinking that's the only thing that makes me unique. Linscat. Hello, Linscat and Deborah D. 1955 on the Rumbly-Roo. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the show. I'm trying to load some more comments on the YouTube. You guys are very busy on YouTube. We've got a lot of people. Like to chime in on the YouTube. And enjoy it. And thanks, Conserve 1974 for the birthday greetings. I do appreciate that. Dookie Bear, you said you were wearing your T-shirt yesterday that I gave you for my birthday. You can wear it again today. It's okay. Did you wash it? I'm not. Usually I could go 2 days on a shirt if I'm just going to wear it as a night shirt. Deborah says, "Did you see Rob has 1.3 million followers? What? Do I? Send me that information. That'd be kind of cool if I did. I got a contract coming up. It could always be useful." I'm just having too much fun here, guys. I swear to God, I'm just having too much fun. I love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Here we go.
About 350 here.
350. Thanks, Brad.
Someone threw a Molotov cocktail at a Tesla service center. At least 5 Teslas blew up. When you pull out a chainsaw to celebrate firing thousands of people, they get mad. It's just
Let's send these techno-fascist oligarchs and old-fashioned Nazis a message loud and clear.
The vandalism really shows the outright anger and rage that people are feeling about what Elon Musk is doing.
Yeah, that was when Elon Musk was a Nazi about, 6 months ago. Wasn't he a Nazi, or was it 7 months ago he was a Nazi, and now they accomplished what they did, and they got him off of Doge, and they got him to leave the government. So they don't care that he's a Nazi, I guess. You guys are, honestly. You ever see these Antifa protesters? I just want to, especially those mouthy little females, just, when they get in your face and they spit at you, just take the open palm of and just right on the forehead and give them a shove. That's what I want to do. I want to see more of that. Just, shut up. Get out of my face. I'm so done with this nonsense. Representative Robert Garcia, he's introducing an app for tracking ICE. This is how desperate the Democrats are. This is illegal, by the way, and this is also insurrectionist.
I shared this with the mayor. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a master ICE tracker, where we're going to be essentially tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information.
They're doing everything they can just shy of civil war. They are. Donald Trump has thrown a wrench into their plans. They opened the southern border. They never expected Donald Trump to be president again. They thought all the lawfare, all of the 91 indictments, all of the 34 felonies, all of the trying to get him off the ballot, and then ultimately trying to murder him. They thought he would never be the president, and now they're bleeped. They are just bleeped. And so the Department of Homeland Security is ripping into a plan by California Democrats to launch an online tracker to dox ICE and Customs Enforcement. None of this is going to work, by the way. And ultimately, you're going to get your arse in a little bit of hot water. Here's Rob Schmidt last night with some of the anti-ICE nonsense in New York City. And this is what the Democrats have done. They whipped their soldiers into a frenzy to commit acts of violence. It is a proxy civil war. There are paid soldiers, Antifa and other groups. They are paid soldiers. And there is plausible deniability for the violence that is being caused by Democrats.
Come on, what are you scared about? What the are you scared about?
Open palm right on the forehead and just shove you right to the ground. I want to see that.
Get the out of my face! They're abducting people from their homes and their schools and their jobs, and they know what they're doing is wrong.
Shut up.
And they don't give a
Oh,
they're heartless
Karen!
monsters!
Karen! Oh.
I'm sorry, you must be really afraid right now.
They're all white people.
I'd be afraid too.
Here's Rob.
What do you think about that? That's how their voters now react to immigration enforcement.
I know.
Again, something that 15 years ago was not controversial at all.
No, because they are soldiers. They are brown shirts of the Democrat Party. They will do anything. Put a mask on. Okay. Shut the churches down. Okay. Go after ICE. Okay. Defund the police. Okay. Burn down the country. Ya vote. Let's take a break and come back. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show is ahead. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
You are so beyond self-loathing. You're suicidal. Honestly, you're suicidal at this point. But we'll get to all of that in a moment here. We were talking about the ICE and how insane people are with protesting ICE, and this is not gonna this is going to continue. ICE is going to continue to do this until everybody who's here illegally is either on the right path to citizenship by self-deporting and then given the opportunity coming back, or gone for good, just removed from the country. That's the way it's going to happen, no matter what you do. Now, the Democrat Party is going to do their level best to start a civil war. Here's a teacher in Los Angeles, and this is where they are now. They are telling people to use guns to fight ICE, okay? Again, I told you, the Democrat Party is waging a de facto civil war with plausible deniability. They are. They're using words of war. They are funding this war to the tune of billions of dollars through NGOs, through billionaires, through communist organizations. This is real. This is a de facto civil war. The Democrat Party is down with the side of taking down America as founded. There's no doubt about it. I'm not screwing around. They wouldn't be doing this if they weren't. But here is this guy, a teacher in Los Angeles. This is beginning. We heard it over the weekend. They had people in these idiotic No Kings protests, which was meant to, and it's a moist dream of the class of 1968, to show that the American people overwhelmingly do not support Donald Trump and they want him removed from office and he should get in a helicopter and he should leave. Well, it's not going to work. That's why Donald Trump did this, the video, the AI video of him flying over these protesters and dumping feces on them from a fighter plane. That's what he looks at you as. So, and then oddly enough, at like 2:00 in the afternoon, the protest just immediately broke up because they were on the clock, bought and paid for. But here's this teacher in Los Angeles.
Don't forget where you're standing. This is South Central Los Angeles. They are not.
Democrats have made that place a new hell on earth.
Not the only ones with guns in this city.
There you go. We're not the only ones with guns. Okay. What kind of gun are you going to use against an MRAP with a 50 cal strapped to it?
They're not the only ones, and don't forget that. And I don't say that because we're calling for violence. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen with AR-15s and other military rifles.
He's saying to take up arms against law enforcement. That's what he's doing. They did the same thing in the summer of 2020. They weren't quite as bold. They would just say, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, and then, leave pallets of bricks on street corners. The media would never cover it up. Yeah. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. There's no doubt about it. Don't make me laugh by trying to say it isn't happening, because it is. Here's Don Lemon the other day. He is just so mad. Don Lemon said the same thing.
Black people, brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian...
Yes, you black people of all stripes.
American or Mexican American...
Well, he's quite... he makes you want to go to battle, doesn't he?
American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally. Get a license to carry legally.
Get a license to carry.
Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that...
As a citizen!
...what the Second Amendment was written for?
The Second Amendment is citizen.
Go back and read what the Second Amendment says. And perhaps it will knock some sense in the heads of these...
You really got to stop using so many S's.
People who are saying, well, it's all great. I don't believe they're doing it without due process. They're asking people for papers. They're not really beating people up. These people are doing things that are illegal. Nobody is illegal. It is a misdemeanor.
Yeah, go ahead. Show up to the door when the ICE agents show and have your gun out. See how well that works for you. See, and when he speaks and he uses S's, dogs go crazy. You may wonder why your dog is barking right now. That's Don Lemon using a lot of S's in a sentence. It happens. It's weird that way. Here is Tulsi Gabbard. She's DHS secretary, talking about why Democrats don't condemn violence against ICE.
It makes no sense. I have not heard a single one of them. The opposite is true. You just heard very directly. It's the exact opposite. they're actually putting a target on the backs of every one of these ICE agents who puts their lives at risk every day, not to grab innocent people off the street as the Democrats accuse them of doing, but it is to get those criminals, those who have, murders on their records, they have kidnappings, they have drugs, they have violent crimes of various sorts on their records, which is why ICE is going after them in these communities.
Yeah, and people like J.B. Pritzker, they use the word Hitler, Nazi, fascist, all of this on purpose. We've seen this. It's been going on for a decade. Now it's showing up on shell casings and in manifestos of leftists who murder children in Catholic churches in Minneapolis and Charlie Kirk. Yeah, and here he is again.
We have to save this country from what Donald Trump is doing to it, because
he is standing in the schoolhouse door like George Wallace, except for he's more effective because he takes up the entire door.
No, I do not want this country to become like other authoritarian regimes. People have criticized me for talking about...
The Democrat Party is, right now, the reason why they carry states like New York and Illinois and just about every state is because of the population centers loaded with Democrat voters. That's it. Otherwise, you've got states, even Maryland where I used to live, even Virginia, largely controlled by Fairfax and Loudoun County. They get all sorts of government employees living here, and they control the narrative. And the Democrat Party wants to keep the people in America's inner cities uneducated, aggrieved, impoverished, and dependent. That's it. And now they have illegals in those areas that they are going to use to vote Democrat. That's it. That's all. That's what they're afraid of. Because once they lose cities like New York and they go Republican, then so goes the state. This is their spiraling into hell moment.
The Nazi regime, on the right, people have criticized me. It's the one I know most about because I helped to build a Holocaust museum, and
you use some of your family money to build a Holocaust museum.
You're sitting next to...
You haven't built anything. I don't think you even did Lego when you were a kid.
Holocaust survivors, that what they will say in this moment is, this is what happened.
No, I'm thinking the Holocaust survivors are in New York going, holy crap, they're going to put Zoran Mondami as the mayor of the friggin' city. This is what the Democrats have been doing for years now to get to this moment.
He said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had.
President Biden believes that Donald Trump is a fascist.
I mean, yes.
This sounds like Nazi rhetoric. This sounds like fascist rhetoric. It sounds like white supremacist rhetoric.
This is the last 2 years.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. And Biden has to get in there very hard and go, rapist, racist, fascist.
Now, here is John Fetterman last night. Again, he had his hair or his brain turned on and off, and it reset. So he's the only Democrat alive now, I think, who has common sense. But listen to what he said last night about calling Trump and his supporters Nazis and fascists.
I don't know why, and I've always refused to say that. And when then the Vice President Harris referred to President Trump as a fascist, and I knew absolutely we lost the plot at that point.
Yeah.
You know, if you call the president or someone like a fascist, you're effectively calling the people that are going to vote for him, and then they must be fascists too, or they support fascism and those things, and that's just not true. That's just not it. I happen to know, and I love a lot of people that voted for the president, and they're not fascists, they're not Nazis, they're not trying to destroy the Constitution and all those things. They just happen to have a different priorities, and they love our country in the same ways that Democrats do.
Except for Democrats don't love the country.
Well, so I refuse to do those kinds of a thing because that kind of extreme kinds of rhetoric.
It's because the Democrat Party and Barack Obama said he wanted to fundamentally change America, and the only way you do that is by what? Fomenting a revolution. And since they weren't able to win by silencing us and by rigging an election and attempting to take Donald Trump off the ballot, bankrupt him, and then murder him, what's the next step? What's the next step? You're witnessing, and it's going to fail. It's going to fail big time. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show.
How do you solve a problem like Antifa? A terrorist group, that is what they are. I'm gonna solve this problem called Antifa. They have gone too far. The Democrats, they support Antifa. Their reign of terror they try to deny. Claim that Soros doesn't fund Antifa, but that's a big fat lie. We are coming after you, Antifa. In towns like Portland where you terrorize, National Guard will help to fight Antifa. They'll cut it down to size. How do you solve a problem like Antifa? They are a hate group in most people's eyes. The Democrats shut down and them all leaving town will be a gift to me. I see it as a firing opportunity. Let the layoffs begin. America will win. Just you wait and see. The Democrats just gave me an opportunity. Now I have a chance, along with J.D. Vance, to make us more waste-free. A federal budget cutting opportunity. The budget I'll reduce when thousands are cut loose. Less bureaucracy. I will make this another opportunity. This is a big time opportunity.
Jackie. Yeah, Chris from Fort Worth. It is a Rob Carson Show. You don't believe me when I say the Democrat Party is and has been waging a de facto civil war with plausible deniability?
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
No, he's not.
Let me shut down the city! We are at war!
Yeah.
We're at war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. We see it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
You can only push people so far, and then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us
to bring actual weapons to the smart fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
Okay, you're messing with the most well-armed intellectually and physically people in the history of mankind. The founders wrote the Second Amendment into the Constitution to prevent what you're fomenting there, by the way. Because you aren't the people. You're actually the state. You aren't the state. You are the state. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, go ahead and take a swing. Honestly, take a swing. Take a swing. See what it does to you. It ain't going to win well for you. It didn't in the Civil War, Democrats.
To the town of Portland I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna get you hard. The Democrat mayor's getting in my way. Go ahead, punks, and make my day.
Come on.
F around and find out. F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out. I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil neck and Chris Ray.
Oh, yeah.
For your crimes you will pay.
Yeah, big time.
You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you.
Oh, yeah.
Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out.
Come on.
Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day.
That is Jim Gossett as the President of the United States. Brilliant. I came up with that idea on Monday and sent it to him, and he threw it together. It's brilliant. That's the official theme song of the Trump administration right now. F around and find out. Honestly, and that's kind of my theme song, too. Kind of done with this tipper tantrum nonsense that's been happening. The left, they're in the dying throes of the class of 1968, spiraling into hell, dying like movie vampires, trying to drag us into hell with them, and we're not going. Chris in Fort Worth joins us. Chris, what's up, buddy? How you?
How are you, my man, Rob? This is your man, Chris in Fortress, Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I heard you had a birthday recently, and so did I.
What?
I was born October 19th, so I'm a Libra, but actually I'm a Christian more than anything else.
Gotcha. How many for you, Chris?
Happy birthday.
How many?
Oh, 63 officially.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Yeah, but Stephen Miller, they called him a Jewish Nazi or a Nazi Jew, and I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
That's where they're desperate.
Yeah.
To be attacking that fine man.
It's ridiculous.
And questioning his heights and stuff. It's very low down.
Yeah.
But let's get over that. What I'm worried about is, I'm here in my beloved Tarrant County, and I'm thinking back about Maricopa County back in 2022, what they did to Kerry Lake.
Yeah.
And they're focusing on my county now.
Oh, I know.
And I want the world to know, be aware that, and especially our Tarrant County residents, that we got to get out there. We got to show our support for Trump. And we got to vote MAGA. And I like the candidate Lee Wamsnath. I can't really pronounce her last name.
That's right.
But hopefully everybody will come out for her.
Yeah.
But this Nazi thing is just. It shows desperation.
Of course it does. You're exactly right, Chris. It's 100% desperate.
Every direction.
Yeah. Listen. I appreciate your phone call, Chris. I do have to run. But yeah, it's the dying throes of the class of 1968. It's all of they're doing it. They're trying it. They're doing the level best, and it's doing a faceplant. It's cutting through. People are recognizing how bad the Democrats are. Here's Winsome Sears. Winsome Sears on Fox. There was a guy at a sporting event calling her racist, using racial epithets.
Well, I'm the one who's saying, parents, I'm on your side. My opponent, Abigail Spanberger.
Here she is talking about Abigail Spanberger, who still believes that boys can become girls and compete in women's sports. This is why I have a good feeling about the race in the state of Virginia, where I live now, for AG, governor, and lieutenant governor.
Has voted against the Parents' Rights Act when she was in Congress, and it simply said this: if you're transitioning my child in the school system, I need to know. She voted against that. Also said, if my child is not reading and doing math, etc., on grade level by the time they're in the 3rd grade, I need to know as the parent. She voted against the parents knowing. Yeah. Also, if there's violence happening in schools, I as the parent need to be notified. Voted against that.
Yeah. And by the way, John Reed's opponent for lieutenant governor is as radical as they get. She wants a $20 minimum wage. She wants a compulsory union membership. She's down with every leftist thing that America is rejecting. They want to do to Virginia what they've done to states like Maryland. Maryland, I got a TV report coming up. You wouldn't believe how many people are leaving Maryland. 2 million people left Maryland because they're sick and tired of the overregulation and the radical leftism of Maryland, which really swung left after I moved from Maryland about 11 years ago. So got more on that coming up. They are the last dying gasp of the class of 1968 in states like New Jersey, in states like Virginia, and we have to drive them out of power. All right, so we got Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer coming up to talk a little bit about Russia, Ukraine, and other sundry international stuff dealing with the military. It's always awesome. He has great insights. And so I'd encourage you to listen. More of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted T.J. Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his fresh-pressed olive oil club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
Sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard. That goal, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
Tim Walz is a lefty who's ruined his state. Now he wants our children to self-mutilate. His policies are disgusting and lewd. And now he says schools have to include tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz and Kamala, a couple of fools. And everybody knows that liberals want to ruin schools. Tim allowed his cities to be burned by BLM. Criminals, illegals, they can count on Tim. His uniform, Tim, was disgraced. He really crossed the line the moment that he placed. Tampa's in the boys' room. Tampa's in the boys' room. Tim Walz is a commie. Kamala is too. And everyone should know the damage that these two could do.
Idiots. Here we go.
As you know, and the world can see, President Trump is the president of peace. He's done peace deals, trade deals, tax deals, and part of the peace deal, the real remaining final conflict in the world, this would be the 9th one that he has found a solution to, would be between Russia and Ukraine. President Putin has not come to the table in an honest and forthright manner, as we'd hoped. There were talks in Alaska. President Trump walked away when he realized that things were not moving forward. There have been behind-the-scenes talk, but I believe that the president is disappointed at the where we are in these talks. So either this evening or first thing tomorrow morning, we are going to be announcing a substantial increase in Russia's sanctions. I'm not going to give you the exact sanctions, but I can tell you that this will be one of the largest sanctions that we have done against the Russian Federation.
And joining us to talk about this, that's Scott Bessent, by the way. He's Treasury Secretary. They're doing everything. They're pulling out all the stops to end this conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And there are a lot of balls in the air. To get, for instance, Afghanistan, or not Afghanistan, India and Pakistan to the table, he used tariffs. He said, hey, I'm going to pay for your war if we're not buying your stuff. So, there are a lot of, like I said, a lot of balls in the air. Tony Shaffer, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, president of the Project Sentinel, and 2020 Trump campaign national security advisor, joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. Why is this one so hard, bro? Why is this one so hard?
So it's because Russians are winning, and the rest of the world seems to continue to deny that. It's interesting. There are actually sources of news people can go look at. It's not hidden that, like Perkros, there was just a major tank engagement there over the past week. The Ukrainians lost. Nobody's talking about it. So this is one of the things about the Cold War that we were good at and we're not so good now. You have to examine the situation from the eyes of your adversary to understand how to manage that perception. Reagan was a master at this. So it's just, okay, another round of sanctions. Okay, bring them on. The thing that did have an effect, the two things that did have an effect, is when President Trump talked to India and said, hey, stop buying, that got Putin's attention, as did the Tomahawks. That got his attention. And then, of course, he backs off. Oh, never mind about the Tomahawks. That's not, I don't know who advised President Trump to do that. That wasn't smart.
Yeah.
Because it shows you were bluffing all along. So,
yeah, that's true.
Just saying. So I'm trying to, I love President Trump, but I disagree with whoever is advising him right now, because they're not pushing the right buttons to get Russia to comply with what they want.
Well, what are the buttons? What do you suggest?
Well, the two things that have to be done is to accept that there's no military solution. That has to be the premise you start from.
Okay.
that NATO and everybody else has blown it. And what worries me is we're going back to the same scenario that got us where it's at. It's like, we're talking about wonder weapons. We're talking about, we'll give them this and that'll be it. It's like, no, that didn't work under Biden. Why do you think it's going to work now? The whole premise that we'll just give one more weapon system, this will be the thing that does it. No. Right now, this is what worries me, is that we are seeing the bleeding of Ukraine. When the war started, we were talking about a nation of about 41 million. That population is cut in half virtually for a number of reasons, not all military losses. So if this continues, you're going to have a deficit of people to run the country. I mean, this isn't even about military to military. It's like, do you even have enough people to sustain a country? So this is what worries me, and this is where we're playing into Russia's hand. Russia wants to bleed Ukraine dry. We're helping him do that.
And then what happens? Is there a power vacuum? Is there what?
Well, the Russians win. The Russians will take either what they want or all of it. I don't think they want all of it because they don't want the issue with insurgencies. But I'm just saying, what we're doing right now is not going to resolve this. What we have to understand is that since this, this is the messaging I would use if I were President Trump. Look, this was so badly managed by Biden.
Yeah.
We have no choice at this point but to say there's got to be concessions, territorial concessions.
Yeah.
This always comes back to the Europeans saying, "Oh no, we can win this." Like, no, you can't.
No.
That ship has long sailed. Yeah. So you have to go with what's next. The next thing is preserve what you got. Stop the bleeding.
Please.
Stop the destruction of Ukraine and start backwards. Start seeing if we can start pushing back, because at this point, again, the Europeans talk big, but they won't give troops.
Yeah.
Obviously, the neocons are always trying to push, like Lindsey Graham, trying to push us to do more regarding military, but it doesn't work. Yeah. So accept the level of the water as it is. Don't pretend it's something else. And so this is where my frustration continues with the administration.
It is definitely a different nut to crack, and I was trying to figure out if it was a cultural kind of differences. Vladimir Putin is someone who is very dark and very uniquely proud and sociopathic individual,
Yeah. True. Well, but with that said, he's winning. That's what it's like. In his mind, he's winning.
Yeah.
So you've got to go from that premise, because the more you pretend he's not, and you take the European talking points and use them, the more it's like, and that's what happened here. Putin and Trump talked. The reality set in. It's like, they're not really going to give us what we want, so we got to postpone it.
Yeah.
So,
did you see Did you see the stories last week about Joe Biden going over to Ukraine before the conflict and doing a speech talking about corruption and how terrible it was, even though he knew it, and the people, the leaders of Ukraine knew he was there gaslighting them. He was gaslighting them, and then he basically said, Russia, you can invade a little. This is all really a cover-up of his freaking family's corruption. If this is the case, there's the blood of a lot of people on his lousy, stinking old hands.
Well, think about this. We've come to learn that Hunter Biden was being paid by both Russia and Ukraine.
Wow.
Come on. I mean, it's obvious they were trying to get the war going.
Yeah.
President Trump is correct. This would have never happened under his watch.
It really is.
With that said, Rob, Biden messed it up so bad. I think with purpose. We've got to accept that we can't put Humpty back together.
No.
There's going to have to be some territorial losses to Russia. It is what it is.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to use Ukraine's natural resources to pay for the rebuilding and pay us back, to be quite honest. I do want to talk a little bit about what's going on with Israel and in Gaza, and if Hamas is going to continue to FAFO. It looks like they are. I'm hoping actually they do. I'd love the IDF to go in and just wipe them out, get rid of them altogether. I want to cover that on the other side of the break, and also your thoughts on taking out drug boats. Can you stick around and talk about those two things, my friend?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer on the Rob Carson Show. Let's take a break and come back. Don't go anywhere.
mean, the question is, bottom line, these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blow up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
Does it matter if it's in the United States?
Well, these are all in international waters. The boat.
Do a strike in the United States, or if North America?
Well, that's a different matter. Now you're talking about a law enforcement matter. In this particular case, there are people traveling on international waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous, deadly drugs. And they're going to be stopped. And that's what's happening. And in the case last week, you saw there was a submarine. It was a submarine. It was a submersible. That's a drug boat all the way through. We know what these boats are. The president just said it. We track them from the very beginning. We know who's on them, who they are, where they're coming from, what they have on them. If you're running drug boats, you're in grave danger.
And they are affiliated with governments, including in Venezuela. The Maduro regime is behind this. They have profited from this. This is a war. This is a war. That's why it is different. Rand Paul, dear God, man, just honestly, sometimes you're libertarian. Pull your head out of your libertarian butt, for God's sakes. This is a completely different ballgame, and they have been waging a war on us by flooding our country with not only fentanyl, but also with emptying their prisons. This is a war. It is a completely different ballgame. And I say, keep blowing the snot out of them. Tony Shaffer, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, what say you, sir?
Oh, so I agree with your premise. It's time we take this seriously. Now, what I find interesting about Rand Paul and others, to include those on the left, and I consider Rand a friend. I like him, but he's wrong on this.
I know.
So let me be clear with your audience, with our audience. We have the authorities to do this. Going back to the 1990s, the military first engaged in counter-drug in the period of about 1992 to 93, when we were asked to come in and join the war on drugs. So I served time in a place called JIATF, Joint Interagency Task Force East in Key West. Now it's Joint Interagency Task Force South. Beautiful place, Key West. Go there. By the way, conservatives taking over Key West. Just saying, go there, have a good time. And my point being, the ICE is welcome there. Believe it or not, their city council approved it. Anyway, back to the topic. We've had authority, Rob, to do what we're doing since the 90s.
Yeah.
It's just it was never used.
Yep.
So it was reluctant because of what we're seeing right now. People are getting upset. Oh my God, you're blowing people up. Well, yes, that's what we do with terrorists. So
who friggity who?
The redesignation or the modified designation of these drug cartels as terrorist organizations was long overdue.
Yes, and that's exactly right.
What's happened. We're basically dusting off plans. Heck, my second book, the last line, was about us turning essentially the military on the drug cartel. So it's not like we've not thought about this before.
Yes.
It's just that we're finally acting on it, and I think appropriately so.
I love it. Here's a headline today. Donald Trump has threatened to cut Israel adrift if they annex the West Bank in an extraordinary escalation as the president demands peace in the Middle East. See, I'm hoping that, and it looks like Hamas is bleeping around and finding out. And I personally would like Israel to occupy because they had a chance at a two-state solution, and I think the only way to end Hamas is to get rid of them. I kind of feel uneasy about Trump's stance about cutting Israel off for doing what I think is the right thing. Go ahead.
Well, no, I think you're right. I think at this point, look, if let me ask you a question, the audience.
Yeah.
If West Virginia, if West Virginia as a state, if its primary purpose, and it's stated up front, its primary policy purpose to exist is to destroy Virginia, I think we would take Virginia's side and let them invade West Virginia. Just saying, don't you think?
Yes.
So the same thing here. It's like, why should we accept a hostile, a group, Hamas and the Palestinians, who have said is their primary reason for existence is to destroy the Jewish state? Why would you permit that to exist?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So I'm completely on the Israeli side.
Is it just because Trump wants peace? Is that it? It's just peace? I mean, it's kind of a blanket peace. I just want peace for peace sake. For peace sake. But I got to tell you, Hamas can't be allowed to exist. They just can't be allowed to exist. That's it.
Well, this is where I'm been frustrated with the phase two of the thing. It's like, well, and then yesterday they said, well, we'll do like a bifurcation. We'll have the Israelis take one half and Hamas take the other. It's like, no, that's no better.
No,
that's no better.
No. Final thoughts. What do you think about the New York mayoral race? They had a big debate last night. I didn't have a chance to watch the whole deal, but they really went after the Montgomery. What do you think's happening there? Do you think the tide is shifting? You got 12 days before the election. What do you think?
I think I'm hoping New Yorkers are going to wake up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, this whole delusion that somehow Marxism, communism, socialism, whatever you want to say, will make things better is insane. It's never worked anywhere.
Yeah.
Yet somehow this guy who's from a rich background, by the way, he's privileged. He's not one of these guys that came up through hardship.
Yeah.
It's bad. So
yeah, you know who else was? Osama bin Laden, by the way. Osama. I mean, it's the same damn thing. The same damn thing. And the fact that this guy posed with a unindicted co-conspirator on the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, he did it so blatantly. He cannot be the mayor, Tony. He because of that should immediately disqualify him. Have you lost so much common sense that you don't see that has to be a disqualification? That's like posing with Hitler, for God's sake. I mean, there is no doubt about it. There is no way this man can be the mayor of the city.
Yep, I agree.
All right, brother. Well, I always appreciate your insights, man. Where can people find all your glorious work? What is the name of that book again about the drug cartels and war on them?
So yeah, you guys can look it up. The Last Line. It's a novel. It basically, we wrote it 10 years ago.
Wow.
Postulating that, hey, we're going to have problems at the southwest border. And by the way, it wasn't like I just wrote it one day. It's like, no, I kind of saw this coming based on my experience in the 1990s and early 2000s. Like, yeah, this is going to get out of hand.
All right.
We're going to have to figure out a way to use the military. So that's called The Last Line. And what you see now transpiring, we kind of put it into a fictional account 10 years ago.
All right, so Tony Shaffer, where can people find your work on the web?
Just mostly on X. I've got a subscribers. We're doing a thing on spooks and spying this week. And through this week, we're doing a thing tonight. Tomorrow. Yeah, tonight at 8 on spying, on counterintelligence stuff. So check us out.
I love it. Hey, man, thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate you so much. It's so nice to have you on. I feel like I'm very, very blessed to have you as a guest and a friend. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. Let's talk. Let's talk, shall we? A lot of stuff. Deplorable dinosaur. What's going on? Sabrina, tampons in the boys' room. What's that about? We talking about Tim Walz? Tim Walz! What a moron he is. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I do consider today my actual birthday. But I had a nice day yesterday. Went into D.C. last night and hang out with John Frederick at a steakhouse. Didn't eat. Had some chicken sauté on a stick. Jackie Rounds is Round-A-Pony. Is me from the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. Round-A-Pony, you live in South Dakota? My sister was just out in the Black Hills. I need to get out there again. It's so beautiful. I would love to go out there in the winter for a couple of days, but I would never live there in the winter. It's friggin' insane. Insane. America Marcy, what's up? Let's go over to Facebook. John Truitt, Carol Leftwich. Hello, what's going on? What's going on? Prani, what's going on with you? And Vicky, you guys are chatting nicely over there, having a good time. Are you enjoying the show? I'm having a good time. The hair looks almost kind of blonde today, doesn't it? A little blonde, a little gray, a little blonde. Little gray, little blonde. I'm not going to tell you what products I use, but I'm not afraid to admit that I do. Because, why the hell not? Why the hell not? I may do something about this eventually. We'll see. I'm not happy with it. Not happy with it. Not happy with it. You know what else I'm not happy with? Match.com. I'm done with this online crap. I haven't had any luck. I'm not staying with anybody. And it's awful. I want to meet people in person. I can't do this. It's insane. And I only did it to try it, and it's insane. I don't know how people actually meet somebody. Because it's awful. You have this exchange, and you decide whether you want to meet, and then it awful.
It's now 4:15 here.
All right. A little spooky music from Rob Zombie for you. Yeah, for the first time in a very long time, I am no longer in a cul-de-sac neighborhood as the dad who, I did the smoke machine, I did the scary music. And I did the full-size candy bars for decades. I loved it. I loved it. Loved it. I always wanted to, because I grew up pretty poor. And in my hometown of Neola, Iowa, There were the Wellburns. He was the vet in town. He was a veterinarian, and a veterinarian is like the richest guy in town. And he would give out full-size candy bars, and we thought, man, he is rich. He is totally rich. So, I always wanted to do that for kids. So I always had 2 bowls, one with the bite size, the fun size, which isn't fun. They're not fun at all. It's not fun when it's smaller. Trust me, I speak from experience. Anyway. I love playing that game, man. I loved it. I love to give the kids, and then towards the end of the night, when you still got a bunch of candy, then these kids would come up and just take like 5 or 6 full-size candy bars and drop it in their bag and watch the look on their face. They're like, "You're kidding me. This can't be real." No, man, it's real. You got a great costume. Thank you. Crazy. I loved it. Loved it. Now I got people in apartments next to me. But I might put a sign to say trick or treats for adults if they want to swing by. We'll see. I always enjoy I can't wait to decorate the apartment for Christmas, and I'm going to start before Thanksgiving. Because I can. Got another notice in the email. I've been getting these all the time. This is your final reminder. Unresolved accounts will be automatically locked until your billing is updated. Your final notice, your payment failed. It's all a lie. Because I pay my bills on time, but they use this language against people like me who like to pay their bills and don't want their credit report to be messed up. And so they immediately go, oh, holy crap, well, I better give them my updated card information. And that's what they got. They'll take it and they'll go, bing, give us a little number on the back so we can just go ahead and make your purchases. That's what they do. It's called phishing. You can protect yourself with WebRoot. WebRoot is an amazing protection for your computer. WebRoot Total Protection, and you can get it 60% off by going to webroot.com/Carson. 60% off webroot.com/Carson. Real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, phishing, scams, etc. Firewall and network monitor. Web threat shields, detects, and blocks malicious websites before you visit them. Because, it just happens. It's right. You're just I'm going to buy a new leather jacket. No, there's something going on there. Advanced dark web monitoring, credit and financial monitoring with rapid alerts. It's always good. It'll be like, your credit rate has just dropped 3 points. What the hell happened? Or whatever. VPN for up to 10 devices. Select your connection from 80 locations in more than 65 countries. When you see the what this costs for a year, you're going to go, no freaking way. I pay $20 a month for Netflix, for crying out loud, or whatever the hell it costs. I don't even know. I just got it, but I canceled it. Webroot.com/Carson, 60% off right now. It's just good. It's a great product. It really is a great product, and it takes care of a lot of things that could cause you all sorts of problems, and to make it easy, Webroot.com/Carson. There you go. That's all. Next hour, KT McFarland's going to join us. She's always a blast. Remember last year when I had her read The Night Before Christmas? Might have to have her do something like that again this year, because, things are a lot better this Christmas because Donald Trump is the president. It's kind of cool. It's going to be a great Thanksgiving and great Christmas. I can't wait for the holiday season. I'm going to start early. I'm going to prematurely celebrate. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. It's hour number 3 of this show on the 23rd of October, which is my birthday, part 2, by the way. This is the day that I really consider to be my birthday. Yesterday is the legal birthday on the second birth certificate when I was 11. And then, but the original birthday was celebrated on the 23rd, so I consider it my real birthday today. It's good to be the king, right? 2 days. Either that or I was a really big baby, one of the others. But a lot of things to get to on the radio program, on the stream. We are streaming. Dude, we are streaming so huge, much bigger than Joe Biden ever dreamed of at 3 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't stream at all. He trickles. We stream. We're like the Hoover Dam, just open it. We stream. We stream on Newsmax, Facebook, X, Rumble, what the hell else? I mean, YouTube, Instagram. It's remarkable. And we are reaching so many people. We're on terrestrial radio, on great radio stations around the country. If you would have told me this would happen a couple of years ago, I would have said, you're out of your mind. But it's happening, and I'm living in Washington, D.C., for God's sake. It's crazy. I was in D.C. last night. I went to a little steakhouse, went to John Frederick's. He was putting together a little soiree. Got to meet some people from the D.C. GOP. Not a whole lot of them. You know, they usually have to hide behind bookcases and stuff in Washington, D.C., but got to meet some of them and hang out. And D.C.'s vibrant. It was vibrant. It was good. You could walk around, no big deal. Lost my truck a little while there. I had the GPS, got to find Buck. He doesn't come when I call. I have to find him. Anyway, hey, there was another mayoral debate in New York. It's absurd that a man-child like Zohran Mamdani could become a candidate to run the largest country in the world. This is what happens when idiot children are allowed to vote, and this is why he's the candidate. And you may recall when he won that primary originally and became the candidate, I said I didn't think that he would be the mayor. I found the idea to be preposterous. But, New Yorkers do a lot of stupid crap like Bill de Blasio. So, everybody said it's a fait accompli that Zohran Mamdani is going to win. And when you add up everything, I would just hope and pray that New Yorkers are not so suicidal that they would do such a thing. We just heard that 650 rabbis are saying, no, he can't be the mayor. It is absurd to think that he could be the mayor. He did a photo op with a guy who was one of the unindicted co-conspirators of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, which of course was a trial run for what happened in 2001, 9/11. So anyway, last night they had another debate, and this one it was basically Sliwa and Cuomo after Mamdani. This is and again, I don't support Cuomo in any way, shape, or form. I would love to see Sliwa be the mayor. I mean, but who knows? I don't live there. So I could easily say there's no way I'm going to vote for Cuomo, because honestly, it's a crap sandwich versus a crap sandwich with double crap. Honestly, they're both just awfully inedible and ridiculous. But here is a Cuomo going after Mamdani for there's more. You had more experience when you worked in the summer one year at Orange Julius at the mall.
You have never had a job. You've never accomplished anything. There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives.
No.
You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency. And you've literally never proposed a bill.
You've probably never done your own laundry. Your mom has done it, but for God's sake. I mean, literally, on his resume, he did an internship with his mom.
On anything that you're now talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly. and you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America. You went from $110,000 to $140,000, and then you never showed up for work, and you missed 80% of the votes. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, it's honestly, it is preposterous to think that he is the candidate that is out in front. Here he is talking about what he wants by the year 2030, which is 5 years away. Think about this. If you own a small business, do you own a small business? Do you own a coffee shop? Do you own a whatever? Do you own a repair shop? Are you a farmer? Although it wouldn't be a farmer in New York, and yet farmers are generally forget the farmers. But you know what I'm saying? If you own a small business, imagine $30 minimum wage. $30 minimum wage. Here he is. And this is what happens to starry-eyed socialists who go to faculty lounges and sit around and mentally masturbate and say that the reason why communism didn't work was that it wasn't done properly. But either way, it ended up with a couple 100 million people murdered last century. Generally, that'd be enough to make you go, I don't think it's maybe a good idea. I don't think we try to perfect something that has left so many people in body pits starving to death. Instead of putting a new coat of paint on it. But that's what these starry-eyed socialist idiots do. But he's worse than that. He also hates the Jews. So there's that. And he wants Israel wiped off the face of the earth. So there is that. But here he is talking about the $30 minimum wage. And then Donald Trump Jr.'s response.
And the reason that we put forward $30 by 2030 is
because you don't have to pay it because you've never run a business in your life, you idiot. You don't even know what it would do to the cup of coffee, the cost of a cup of coffee at your coffee shop if you had to pay somebody $240 for an 8-hour shift with an hour off for lunch.
That's the minimum that a New Yorker needs to be paid to be able to afford to live
guess what? You got to leave the city. Oh, there you go. It's not my business that I have to pay you to be able to live in New York City. I don't live in New York City. You know why I don't live in New York City? Well, because I didn't want to live in New York City, but there was a time I did, and I couldn't afford it. I can't afford to live in Marseille either, for God's sake. I can't live in San Francisco either. You know why? I can't afford it. But I'm not going to go to move to New York and say, I demand that I get free health care so I can afford to live here. Move the hell out of the city. The Democrat Party has made it unaffordable with regulation, with taxes, and nonsense. You can't afford to live there anymore. Too bad. Go live in Rochester. Go live in frickin' Pennsylvania. But you gotta move.
City. Our proposal that we've put forward would be phased in over a longer period of time for small business owners to ensure that they could deal with this. And it's also one that we are confident we would be able to accomplish.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You've seen how this has played out in places like California, where Gavin Newsom did that with a lot of small business owners and a lot of fast food areas other than...
$20 minimum wage at all the fast food. You know how many fast food jobs were lost? 20,000.
When he was carving out his special interest donors, it didn't work out well.
I'm sorry. If you're 45 years old and your job is working the fryer at McDonald's, it's not my fault.
People were replaced with iPads. That's what's going to happen. The reality is small businesses cannot cover that kind of nut. They cannot pay someone $30 an hour to do menial work. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and you know what? High school students don't need $30 an hour when they live at home. And those are the people who do the bloody jobs. Okay, that's it. Sorry. Ain't my problem. You ain't got no skills. Ain't my problem. You made poor life decisions, and all you can do is something that can be replaced by a robot flipping French fries. Really? That's not my problem. You don't deserve $30 an hour to do that. People in my life who don't make $30 an hour. Dear God. Here he is. This is your typical faculty lounge, liberal, lived in mom's basement, never done a damned thing in his life. With his dream of all of the things he's going to try that have been tried a million times before, and they've fallen flat every damn time. But here comes another generation of ignoramuses who haven't had to do a damn thing in their lives. I just read a thing the other day. The average adult child in this country, up to like 25 years old, gets $1,400 a month from their parents. You know how much I got when I left home? D word for Richard. Yeah, that means nothing, by the way. But here's Zoran with his moist dream about what is possible, but it's not.
Nothing is going to happen.
If you want a candidate for mayor who tells you everything that he cannot do, then Andrew Cuomo should be your choice. If you want a candidate for mayor who will use every tool at their disposal, including the 9 appointees at the Rent Guidelines Board, all of whom are appointed by the mayor, then I am the candidate for you.
Oh, so this is how he's going to bring down rents. He's not going to own buildings. He's just going to use this board of government to force people to accept a certain amount of rent. Do you see what he's doing? My God. I'm still holding out hope that he'll be taken down. You lucked out due to overwhelming demand for free silver from Birch Gold. They've extended their current promotion through Veterans Day, which is November the 11th. Now, I mentioned this. You buy gold, you get free silver. Also surging in price, by the way. You get one of these. I'm going to show it to you streamers now. It is a silver round. It's one troy ounce of silver. It's very pretty. It's very collectible. Has the Gadsden and American flags on the back of it. For every $5,000 invested in gold from Birch Gold, you get a free 1 ounce patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. Gold's up 60% this year, guys. 60% this year. You might want to get on the gold train, all right? Before it's too expensive for you to afford it, honestly, right? So text my name, Rob, to 989898. You're going to get a free info kit from Birch Gold. It's very simple. I did it the other day because I have a little bit of a little something from the divorce settlement. Yeah, so fun. Might as well make something good out of it. Might as well turn crap into gold, huh? Yeah, it's me. You could turn crap into gold. Oh, my God. Text my name, Rob. I'm laughing on the outside, but I'm crying on the inside. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898 for a free gold info kit. Claim your eligibility for free silver with the purchase from before November the 9th. And then also Birch Gold waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount for veterans. Thank you very much. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Well, they have a lot of cats, and they're mostly Democrats like B.B. Harris. They cry when they lose from their left-wing views. I wish they'd spare us. They're cat ladies. Whoa, 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 they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who have clearly lost their mind.
People that are pro-life, I need you.
Got called out by J.D. Vance. When he had the chance, he really nailed them. They're too dumb to know. Kamala and Joe have really failed them. They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who are out of their minds. Trump's new borders will clean up the mess. The mess Kamala, she did not address. Open borders, he will abort, and illegals he will deport. Thomas Homan, he will say no, man. You must go, man. Mexico, man, you're headed back. Thomas Homan, he's a former cop. Border jumpers, Tom is gonna stop. Used to be in charge of ICE. To illegals, Tom will not be nice. Thomas Homan, they ought to know, man. He's not a showman. Thomas Homan will kick you out.
You better start packing now.
Thomas Old Man, he is your foe man. You've got to go, man.
We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday. We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday.
Here's the Rob Carson Show. KT McFarland joins us at the bottom of the hour. She's always a joy. You know what? She's an amazing woman, and I just like her attitude, everything. She goes on Gutfeld Show and gives them a little what for, and she just does it with a look. She's amazing. By the way, for Lieutenant Governor of the state of Virginia, new poll has John Reed ahead of his radical leftist, bat guano crazy, liberal academic opponent, Ghazala Hashmi. 44.8 to 44.6, undecided 8.2. That's big. That's big. She is as left as it gets. She is a faculty lounge Marxist. She has no business being in office. Same goes with Abigail Spamberger. And I see a lot of her signs around Northern Virginia where I live because, there are a bunch of leftists here. Have no idea. They got a minimum price house of $700,000 around here. So they don't even think about people who are living in trailers, just struggling to get by. But I got a good feeling about this race. I got a good feeling about the race. And then also for Attorney General Jay Jones, of course, fantasized about murdering a political opponent and his kids. Yeah, and so that race has moved very much toward Jason Miyares. And there's some things happening there that are kind of interesting. Here is Winsome Sears. Abigail Spamberger has been running this ad that features Winsome Sears on stage saying, "I'm talking now," and it's in a loop, and it's something they've been pounding into the dirt. And I'm like, how is Winsome going to take on that ad? And she did beautifully.
They pick your worst day.
I'm speaking now.
They twist your words.
And I think that's good.
They say you're not polished. Seriously? I'm Winsome Earl Sears. I'm running for governor to educate, not indoctrinate, grow paychecks instead of hate, and keep Virginia moving the right direction. As your governor, I won't be a polished politician, but as a United States Marine, I'll always fight for Virginia.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I was talking to John Reed about, Maryland. I moved from Maryland 11 years ago, moved to Kansas City, and Maryland is really descended into hell. And the thing is that Marylanders, they're like that frog in boiling water, The water is at a boiling temperature, but they've been sitting in the water since it was lukewarm, so they don't even know they're on fire. They don't even notice it, and the medians are untrimmed, and the pot stores and the pawn shops have moved into where they used to be thriving businesses, and the Lake Forest Mall in Germantown is still abandoned. 10 years later, abandoned, overrun with weeds. It looks like frickin' Escape from New York, and they're all like, "Oh no, everything's great because we're Democrats and we're fine." You people are just nothing. You drive across into Virginia, it's Oz. There's a new report from a TV station in Maryland about Maryland. This is thank God it's happening. I mean it. This is California. This is New York. This is every liberal bastion where people are saying, we're done.
An unsettling housing trend has developed in Maryland. And
this is why Virginia can't become Maryland. Because if Abigail Spamberger is the governor, it will.
The past decade or so, simply put, it shows that more people are moving out than in. Hundreds of thousands more, in fact. WBOC's Kyle Orens joins us live now in the Newsplex with that. Kyle, you are hearing that this downward trend is frustrating, but not exactly shocking.
David, we spoke with Republican Delegate Wayne Hartman and Bill Chambers with the Salisbury Chamber of Commerce today, and both say they saw this coming. Still, it doesn't make it easier to stomach a situation they say is happening for a number of reasons. The data does not lie. This report from Maryland's Comptroller Brooke Learman shows that between 2010 and 2023, 2.3 million people moved out of the state.
Yeah, I moved out in 2014.
In that same time, 2 million people moved in.
We're a high-cost state to do business in. We're a heavily taxed state. There's no advantage for retirees to live in the state of Maryland, tax advantage anyway.
Most of the people leaving, according to this report, are moving to states like Pennsylvania, Virginia, Florida, or North Carolina.
Pennsylvania's not a lot better, but it's better.
In search of a cheaper, less regulated housing market. But what's more concerning for Chambers is that the demographic has shifted. A higher number of young people are leaving the state.
When young, able-bodied, worker-age individuals leave our state, we lose workforce viability. We're losing talent.
Delegate Wayne Hartman says overbearing regulations are to blame.
We've passed so much overburdensome regulation that drove up the cost of housing through code and energy code and things of that nature. That just doesn't have the
40% of Maryland's energy is imported.
Return on the investment.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's people across the state and here on the Eastern Shore that are being hurt.
You're going to have fewer people here to pay the taxes. You have fewer people here in the job market, and it's going to keep putting a larger and larger burden on those who are left.
Just like California and New York.
A lack of housing options, and affordable ones at that, has people in Maryland flocking to different states. Both Hartman and Chambers say Maryland should look at Pennsylvania, Virginia, and North Carolina and see what leaders there are doing to attract people in business.
But they won't, because there's the Maryland General Asylum. That's what we call the General Assembly in Maryland. They're so out of their freaking nuts. They're a bunch of academic Marxists, and they propose nonsense. I'm so glad I got my kids out of Maryland, Montgomery County during the pandemic, because they kept those kids locked down longer than usual. They forced this LGBTQRSTUV nonsense down their throats to the point that Muslim families had to sue Montgomery County so their kids could opt out of this nonsense. This is why people don't want to live in Maryland. Maryland is a beautiful state, but Democrats have made it suck. That's why I didn't live in Maryland again. And I didn't want to live there when I lived there after I discovered a few years in, holy crap, how much money I would have if I didn't live in Maryland. So I'm hoping that this is going to turn around. Again, there are 3 races to watch, and like I said, John Reed is now neck and neck with Ghazala Hajmi, and Jason Miyares is way out in front of this Jay Jones AG guy, and neck and neck with Winsome Sears and Abigail Spamberger. So we'll see what happens. I have a good feeling. And I think the momentum is going in the right direction. The one and only, the awesome, the incredible, the fantastic KT McFarland joins us next with her ruminations on, what's going on in Gaza and what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and others. Maybe some delightful recipes. We'll exchange some recipes because I like to cook and everything. Probably wait on the recipes. But anyway, KT McFarland joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code NEWSMAX, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code NEWSMAX at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word NEWSMAX for up to 40% off. It is the Rob Carson Show on a Thursday, the 23rd of October, and essential workers left unpaid after the Senate Democrats killed a bill to pay some government employees to work because they want to spread the suffering. Isn't that what socialism is all about? It's about making sure everyone is uniformly miserable. That's just the way things work. One of my favorite guests, one of my favorite people is KT McFarland. I think she knows that, and she joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. KT, how are you today?
It's great to be with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. A lot of things going on around the world. The latest headline that I just saw, Donald Trump has threatened to cut Israel adrift if they annex the West Bank in an extraordinary escalation as the president demands peace in the Middle East. I kind of want Israel to go in and wipe out Hamas, and I was kind of hoping they would mess around and find out. What are your thoughts on that? Is Donald Trump spot on with this, with wanting peace, or do you blame Israel for wanting to go get rid of them?
You know, it's a very complicated negotiation that he's managed to pull together, and it's fragile. I think it'll work in the end, but everybody sort of has to keep being tapped into place, right? Hamas doesn't want to lay down its arms. Hamas doesn't want amnesty. It's going to fight. So as you just said, maybe Israel goes in and finishes the 20,000 remaining Hamas fighters. At this point, Hamas is isolated.
Yeah.
Their international support is evaporated.
Yeah.
Their money support from Iran, that's gone because Iran doesn't have any money.
No.
And they've also been separated from the Palestinian people because the day after Hamas is gone, there's a massive rebuilding program in Gaza, which is going to be jobs, prosperity for the Palestinian people. So nobody wants Hamas there.
No.
It's just, how do you get rid of them? And that's the question that President Trump has sent. Marco Rubio is there now. The vice president was there. And then at the same time, you've got Hamas not wanting to fulfill its part of the deal.
Yeah.
Is you've got some right-wing Israelis who say, wow, this is a great opportunity. Let's just annex the Palestinian territories. Again, that's not part of the deal either, but they're just doing it because, well, I think because they want to cause trouble. That's why the vice president was there. That's why Secretary Rubio is there. That's why all of the senior officials who've been going back and forth to Israel. We're calling it now, it's not babysitting, it's BB-sitting. To babysit Bibi Netanyahu to make sure that his flank doesn't sort of sabotage the deal. It'll get there, but it's going to be a lot of this and that and back and forth.
Yeah, you know, and I thought it was brilliant, by the way. I was, and I'm certainly not an expert on foreign policy, but I thought it was brilliant, all the chess pieces that Donald Trump was moving around, the reason why he bombed the Iran nuclear facilities and how it really just destroyed Iran's pipeline for money to Hamas. So Hamas is on an island. Hamas has limited ammunition. Hamas has limited means financially. So do they become a ragtag group of guerrilla fighters interrupting construction? I mean, what's going to happen to them? Is there a way to get them out of there? I don't think you're going to be able to convert them ideologically. They're going to be a thorn in the side. Something's going to have to happen.
Well, nobody's going to convert them ideologically.
No.
They're seeped in their hatred of Jews in Israel. So I don't think they're redeemable. The question is, can they be managed? Will they put down their arms in favor of amnesty and, slink off to their Swiss bank account somewhere? Or do they want to be murderers?
Yeah.
And President Trump made it pretty clear. If they don't want to do that, if they don't want to abide by the terms of the agreement, if they don't want to make peace and prosperity for their fellow Palestinians, they'll be obliterated. And that's probably what happens next.
Messed around and find out. There are a lot of things happening in South America and Central America. There is freedom that is spreading. There are people who are trying to fight this movement. I saw in Bolivia, Rodrigo Paz winning, and he seems to be Trumpian, and that's kind of good. You've got the possibility of Venezuela falling. Donald Trump is putting the heavy on them big time. What do you think is going to happen with Venezuela, and what do you think the timeline is? Because I think obviously Maduro's toast, but what do you think the timeline on that is?
Here's the problem with Latin America, South America, Central America, is that we've ignored it. Republicans and Democrats have just sort of taken it for granted. And while we've ignored it, we've looked at the Middle East, we've been concerned about this part or that part, but never our backyard. And as a result, the Chinese have made enormous inroads into South America. They want the natural resources. So the problem the whole continent faces is communism, the cartels, and China. And what President Trump is doing is he's trying to shore up the reformers, the ones who want democracy, the ones who want free market systems, and that's like Argentina.
Yeah.
And as you point out, the elections just this week in Bolivia. And he's trying to tamp down the bad guys, and that's Colombia and Venezuela.
Colombia's going to mess around and find out. I think Colombia, this guy's talking about taking out Donald Trump. I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to mess around with Donald Trump. What do you think about Brazil? Donald Trump, I don't think has done a very good job supporting the ruler of Brazil that was ousted with a fake election, Bolsonaro. What do you think? I really thought Trump would support him more.
Here's the problem. Do you interfere in the internal relations for another country? Bolsonaro is a very good guy. His son is a good guy. He was absolutely, taken over by his opposition, show trial, threw him in jail. And what's President Trump or anybody supposed to do? Well, we're not in the business of changing regimes. President Trump has said, and he's right, that these forever wars where we just blow in with the Marines and try to make them into Western-style democracies, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
What we'll use is the economic weapon.
Yes.
And that's what he's using with the countries I just mentioned. So I think that what you'll see is President Trump may want regime change. He may want regime change like mad in Venezuela, but that doesn't mean send in the Marines. That means use other pressures that we have, economic pressures, diplomatic pressures, share intelligence with the opposition. But I'm very, very happy that we now finally have a president who realizes, yikes, we got to take care of the backyard.
I love it. Then what do you think about the blowing up the drug boats? I guess I have a real problem. Of course,
fast enough for my turn.
I swear to God, so, I got to tell you, it's not a surprise from Rand Paul, but this is a whole different ballgame. This is a war that has been they have declared war on us. We have casualties. Okay, they have invaded us. I have no pity for these people.
The cartels are. They're being used. They're obviously doing their own thing, right?
Yes.
They're just human trafficking, drug smuggling, weapons smuggling, but they're also working with the leaders of some of these countries, like Maduro.
Yes.
So what are we doing about it? Well, I think sealing the border was a good first step.
Yep.
Making sure that we shut down a lot of their money transit, the banking system that they have access to.
Yep.
And then, I think blowing a couple of ships that are carrying fentanyl and drugs into the United States, more power to them.
Well, it certainly would give you a second thought as you're loading those, those bags of Coke or whatever onto your little skiff as you go head out into the open ocean. I'd be thinking twice about that. KT McFarland, can you hold on for the next break? I'd like to get your thoughts on the New York mayoral race, among other things. Would you mind?
No, I'd be happy to.
Lovely, lovely. More with KT McFarland on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. It's the Rob Carson Show. So the left is going to follow something up on the heels of the No Kings temper tantrum. They're going to do a mass blackout November 25th through the December the 2nd. No work, which should be easy for most of them. No spending, no projects, no events, no restaurants, no backing out. Prepare for the... Honestly, I am so done with these idiots as the left, as the class of 1968 in the Democrat Party spiral into the pits of hell. KT McFarland, what did you think of the No Kings protests last weekend?
I think the best part of the No Kings protest was the meme that President Trump did.
Yes.
I'll let you describe it since it's probably, I don't really want to talk about it myself. He put a crown on his head, he got into an airplane, and then what happened?
He dropped an ICBM, is what it was. I thought it was so perfect, and they're all offended. Oh, the people who are so profane, who are so filthy rotten in their language, are upset that he would use poo humor to carpet bomb. It's so stupid. They really are. They are like petulant children, aren't they? Throwing a temper tantrum because they lost. And Katie, I know in my heart that this is the last dying throes of the class of 1968. Yeah. They're done, Katie. They're not going to get the midterms because they're offering nothing.
They're offering nothing, and they're loonier and loonier by the day. They have no sense of humor. The great thing that I love about President Trump is he just knows how to stir the pot. He knows how to get their goat. And, you have to chuckle. And who are these people? What do they have to offer? Communists running for mayor of New York City? He's likely to win.
I swear to God. By the way,
anti-Semitism.
I've said that conservative comedy is on the ascension because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. And I've been writing political satire for Rush Limbaugh starting in 1990, and I still do it, obviously, on my show. And it is. You cannot take these people seriously. But it is a serious threat in New York City. I said before when he won that primary, I said I don't think that he can win, and everybody's saying he can. He's going to. It's a fait accompli. I saw the debate last night, a good share of it. I'm still not convinced he can win. I think that we can. I don't think it's too late. What do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah.
Because right now he was ahead in the polls. People are now starting to take a look at him. Oh my gosh, he wants free food for everybody, free everything for everybody, no police. It's totally unrealistic. It's like, who's going to vote for this? Maybe 7-year-old kids who think, "Yay!"
Well, yeah, this is why they keep them ignorant in universities, because they forget that socialism caused hundreds of millions of deaths last century, and they'll just do a mistake. They always say, "Oh, communism wasn't done right. It's actually perfect," but we haven't. Well, usually you don't try to put a fresh coat of paint on the on genocide. It's so utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If the communist wins, and New York will go bad really fast, right? New York will go bankrupt. New York will be like it was in the early 1970s. Nothing worked. The garbage won't get collected. The police won't be. The rents are going to crater. Real estate values are going to, just drop out at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then what happens is New York City will turn to the federal government, will turn to Donald Trump, and say, "Would you bail us out?"
Nope.
And he's made it pretty clear. Drop dead.
The latest idiotic move by the left is Donald Trump, known as one of the great real estate developers of the entire world, who's redesigned the skyline of New York, built golden palaces around the world, golf courses. He's going to build a ballroom, and they're upset about it. Normally, he would bid out the contract. They would hire him, but he actually lives in the White House, and they're mad about it. I swear to God, KT, this is just the dumbest of the dumb. This is when you think they couldn't get dumber.
They just have no real issues. So what are they talking about? They're the No Kings thing. They're mad about the new ballroom, redecorating the White House. They're just, we have peace in the Middle East. Oh, well, I guess Hamas has rights. It's just, there's nothing left. And I think the loonier they get, the faster they get, the loonier they get, the quicker people will wake up and say, "Hey, wait a minute, I didn't sign on for this."
Well, they die like movie vampires, grabbing, clawing, trying to drag us into hell with them. It's not going to work, by the way. Hey, I want to ask you a question, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said they love it when you're on Gutfeld's show. Because, Gutfeld is, you got these, fairly unfiltered individuals, I like to say he's kind of like the Fantastic Four. You've got the smart guy over here, and you've got the minx, and you've got the brute over here. When you do that show, and you show up with that unruly group of comics and weirdos. How does it feel with on the vibe? I've seen it live, by the way. When you show up on that show, how do you prepare yourself for going on that show?
Well, you don't really prepare yourself. I mean, they'll tell you what the topics are going to be, but everybody's everybody's ad-libbing. There's no script you're reading. I love it.
My God.
Because again, Greg Gutfeld and the people on his show, they love to poke fun at crazy left-wing nuts, and so what a great laugh it is. So I have a terrific time. Plus, they treat me extremely well.
Yeah.
There's a point where sometimes Greg will turn to me with some, poo humor, whatever it is, and I'll just say to him, Greg, you really don't expect me to answer that question, do you?
This is exactly what
okay.
somebody told me that when you kind of roll your eyes, it's really funny. I like I said, I think it's so wonderful because I wrote for Rush for so many years, and he liked to say he used absurdity to exemplify the absurd, and honestly, the left cannot fight back when you are mocking, ridiculing, and using factual humor against them. They can't. They're like an armadillo in the highway upside down. And it's just funny.
It's a great line, by the way. They just like, oh, you're a Nazi, or you're, yes. They just sort of melt. It's like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, right?
Oh, yeah. That was Nancy Pelosi the other day on the steps of the Capitol. Somebody threw some water on her. It was unbelievable. I'm really looking forward to the holiday season, KT. I know last year you read the night before Christmas. They're talking about redoing a reboot of A Christmas Carol. I could see you as Mrs. Cratchit.
Well, that's good.
I could. I never get tired of that story.
That's the best story ever.
Oh, my God. My favorite version is the George C. Scott 1984 made for television.
I have to agree. I think that's really terrific.
I'm ready for
but my
Thanksgiving.
second favorite is Grinch. Let me know if you're going to read The Grinch. That'll be
You know what? I asked Sebastian Gorka if he would do it.
Oh, yeah.
I did, and he's not talking to me anymore. He's a serious fellow.
Didn't give him the part he wanted.
He is a serious fellow. KT McFarland, always great to have you on. God bless you and yours, and thank you for being on the show today.
It's an honor and a pleasure. It always is a pleasure.
All right, we'll think about something for Christmas. I'm working on something, okay?
Okay.
All right, we got to have something for your grandkids to listen to for the next year. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I love her.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase.
I don't think there's anybody who can talk to KT McFarland like me.
Just don't get the results I used to get.
Hold on. I'm going to talk to you here. I just got to turn this down. You drink is talking about diabetes. I got to watch my sugar. It sucks. It's weird. It's like all of a sudden nowhere. You're like, oh, hell. Got to watch the sugar. Of course, I drank a lot of wine. Wine has a lot of sugar in it. It's not good for you. Not good for you. Don't do that anymore. Yay. Who's watching? 74 new comments on YouTube or Facebook. Hello. Dale Arsenault. Hello. Let's see what's going on the YouTube. Ryan Attenborough. How you doing? It said here, Ryan says, my wife told me the vacuum stopped sucking. I told her it probably got married. Ho, hey, ho. Ryan's a comedian. That's fantastic. Ryan, who are you, Ryan? This is fantastic. Sometimes I like to lay on my lawn and pretend I'm a sprinkler. What are you? Who is this guy? Family Dude is watching today. Hello, Kimberly Wiederhold. We said hi earlier. Deplorable Dinosaur. Good to see you there as well. Hope you're enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the show. I'm having a hell of a time today. I love it. I always do. I always have a lot of fun. Got to go to the gym today. I had to miss the first couple of days. It's my birthday, and I'm going to be on with Wendy. No. Who am I on with tonight? Wendy. Yeah, I'm on with Wendy Bell tonight. On the Newsmax, so it's going to be always a lot of fun. I have nothing else to do with my Sunday nights, or my Thursday nights, even though I'm, it's my birthday. What am I going to talk about here? Tulsi? No. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the new song about all the people bitching about the White House. I'm going to do that again. I think it sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good idea. Oh, no, I got to talk about this. Hold on.
Yeah, about 3.5.
Thank you. So I haven't talked a lot about this today. It's breaking news. NBA stars, coaches among 31 arrested in FBI sports betting crackdown. The fraud is mind-boggling. Stephen A. Smith is blaming Donald Trump. Stephen A. Smith, stay in your lane and talk stats and talk sports. Honestly, you reveal your ignorance every time. Honestly, Hannity always has Stephen A. Smith. We're best buddies. Honestly, Stephen, just talk about sports. Talk about sports because you always look like a fool when you talk about politics. But you could be president. No, you can't. FBI Director Kash Patel announced Thursday 31 people, including several current and former NBA figures, arrested as part of a sweeping federal investigation into organized gambling. Portland Trailblazers head coach and Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former NBA player and assistant coach Damon Jones. Check this out. This guy, Rozier, I believe, faked an injury. In Charlotte, I believe so. I could be. Rozier came in from the New York Police Commissioner Jennifer Tisch, who said he allegedly faked an injury March 23rd, 2023, when he played for the Charlotte Hornets that allowed the know associates to receive more than $200,000 in wages on his under statistics. This is filthy, man. This is filthy, rotten stuff. Pete Rose is like, what the hell? What did I do? I wasn't even betting on my team. I worry about this. I've been approached by these online sports gambling sites to do endorsements. No interest at all. A, I don't know anything about it. B, I just think it's trouble with a capital T when you get this involved and make it so easy for you to gamble. I'm sorry, it is an addiction. Gambling is an addiction like booze, and you can get yourself in a lot of trouble over it. I just think it's seedy and sordid and weird and awful. And so I don't mess with it. I don't mess with it. If you want to go to a casino, I got no problem when you go to a casino. But they make it so bloody easy for you. I'll just download the whatever app and lose your ass and lose your marriage. Yeah, it's really cool. But it's sports. It's sports. Yeah, sports. Yeah. Woo, sports. Got no problem. I also don't do fantasy football. Unless it's like, Beyonce playing quarterback and what's her name? The one who did the jeans commercials a while back. Her playing tight end,
Sweeney?
Sweeney, yeah, Sydney Sweeney. She can be my tight end any day. That would be my fantasy football right there. It's a completely different game. Completely. Wow, did I let you get into my emotional house of cards there for a second? Sorry, it's kind of scared the kids a little bit. They've had some fun today. Did you have some fun? Wasn't that fun to hear to KT McFarland? I'm going to have her on. We're going to do another thing with Christmas this year. She read Night Before Christmas. She told me in New York that she plays it for her grandkids. They want to hear it all the time, her voice, Grandma reading and so we got to do something with that. And it was true about. I did ask Sebastian Gorka to read The Grinch That Stole Christmas, and he's not talking to me much anymore. He's a very serious individual. I love him, by the way. I love him. I think he's great. He's probably just busy. That's why he won't return my phone calls and texts. That's going to do it for the show. Check out the podcast. Go to your usual podcast platform. Subscribe. Follow me on social media at Rob Carson Show. God bless you. America's founded Donald Trump as he deals with all this nonsense and changes the country for the better. And until tomorrow, which is Friday, by the grace of God, don't catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.